I've always wanted to figure out why some people were so successful and why others were not. Was it their circumstances growing up? Was it completely by luck? Was it the risks they took? I had to figure out the answer to this question because obviously I wanted to be successful too, so this was the first place to start. In order to answer this question, I started off by looking at my own situation. First, I thought I wasn't successful yet because I was too young. Wrong. There's plenty of young people out there who are very successful. Then I figured maybe I wasn't successful yet because I didn't have one specific talent that I was incredibly good at that was giving me all of my success. Wrong again. There's plenty of people out there without one particular talent that's giving them all their success. So I couldn't figure out how to crack the code to get lucky like all of these other successful people out there. Now at this stage, I obviously hadn't done much digging yet, but I realized that if I didn't figure out the answer to this question, I was gonna have to lead my life being an average Joe that goes to their 9-to-5 job just to make enough money to live off, to keep going to their 9-to-5 job, and that sounded absolutely terrifying to me. Then, one day I stumbled upon the principle called compounding interest, and this changed the way that I viewed everything. There's an often told story that when Albert Einstein was asked what mankind's greatest invention was, he replied, compound interest. There's even one claim that Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world, stating that he who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. Now, compound interest is often described for its monetary principles. Benjamin Franklin once explained it using this quote: "Money makes money, and the money that money makes money." So that is probably the simplest explanation of compounding interest you'll ever hear. And to tag along to how important compounding interest is, famous investor Warren Buffett bought his very first stock at 11 years old, but has earned 99% of his wealth since his 50th birthday due to compounding interest. He even jokes with people that the secret to his wealth has been his fortunate health and old age. Compounding interest is essentially the exponential effect that a cause takes over time. So in these examples, we were describing it using money. Here's a quick example to illustrate just how powerful compounding really is. Would you rather have $1 million right now, or a single penny that doubles itself every single day for 30 days? Well, if you took a single penny and you doubled it every day for 30 days, by day 30, you would actually have $5,368,709.12. So the choice is pretty clear. You would rather take the penny due to the compounding interest effect over time. However, it is important to note here that this example is all about the power of doubling. So if you ask the same question but change the doubling time to just 27 days, you would only be left with $671,088.64, making the $1 million actually the better option. So really there are two things at play here. Number one is the principle of delayed gratification. This means that by holding off on the gratification of a reward, the reward can be larger in the future. So instead of taking the $1 million now, you take a penny and it doubles itself, the reward is bigger in 30 days. The second thing at play here is the law of compounding interest, like we talked about. Now in this case, it's a bit exaggerated because it's hard to find something that truly doubles every single day over time. Or is it? So most people think about compounding interest in terms of money. In this case, if you find something that doubles every single day, please let me know so that we can all be rich. But what about the compounding interest of your actions? Now, of course, the human brain is an incredible piece of equipment, but it does have its flaws. If you look at the graph, it shows two variables that are inversely related as time goes on. These variables are memory and effect. Every point along this graph represents an action that you take in your life. If you look at the left-hand side, when people initially take an action, their memory of that action is high and the effect is low. I'm sure you can remember what workout you did or did not do yesterday, or maybe even last week. But 3 years ago, likely not. Now on the right-hand side, the effect of the action you took is now compounding and has an exponential result. But your memory of the action that got you this result is likely completely forgotten. So in reality, most people fail because of two reasons. Number one, they start a journey and can't see the effect from the cause immediately, so they give up and quit before reaching the point where the effect starts to compound. Number two, the people who stick to something long enough to experience the compounding effect often forget what cause was responsible for creating it. These two things work in tandem and are what create the appearance of chaos in our lives and make everything seem completely out of control. You see, in an ancient religion called Hermeticism, they actually break down this concept very simply and claim that it's one of the 7 laws that govern our universe. They call it cause and effect. They believe that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law, and chance is but a name for a law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. So this essentially removes luck from the equation and explains it away by saying that we just don't understand the forces that are governing our reality. So they believe there are no accidents in the universe and that everything in the universe is governed by these laws. There are physical laws, emotional laws, mental laws, and spiritual laws. By understanding these laws, we can learn to operate in a state of grace instead of constant karma. Here is another quote from their ideas. The masses of people are carried along, obedient to the environment and the wills and desires of others stronger than themselves. Heredity, suggestion, and other outward causes moving them about like pawns on the chessboard of life. But the masters, rising to the plane above, dominate their moods, characters, qualities, and powers, as well as the environment surrounding them, and become movers instead of pawns. So they believe the average person in this world is an effect, not a cause. They are a victim of thoughts, feelings, opinions, moods, desires, emotions, appetites, their lower self, other people, biorhythms, the physical body, their past lives, subconscious programming, heredity, imagination, and all these vital forces pushing them around, creating their reality. So after hearing this, it's pretty obvious that you'd want to be a mover instead of a pawn on the chessboard of life, a cause instead of an effect. So in order to do this, you have to realize where causes come from. The basic causes of your life are the thoughts and images that you hold in your conscious and subconscious mind. So by learning to be utterly watchful of your thoughts and only allowing your mind thoughts of love, health, prosperity, joy, oneness, and serenity, and any other thoughts that serve you, then this is what you will create both inwardly and outwardly. Essentially, to boil it down, it is in line with the idea that your thoughts cause your reality. So after seeing and reading all this, I finally determined that I would take full ownership of the actions, aka the causes, that I was inputting into my life. So once I made that switch, I became the master of my behaviors rather than the victim. I became successful. Now, success in my terms was never defined by money or status, but rather being able to do what it is that I set out to do. So, of course, what I deem as success is an ever-changing area of my life, but as long as I'm in control of my thoughts and behaviors, I will remain successful on my grounds. This principle changed the entire trajectory of my life because I could no longer justify constantly setting myself back, knowing that my actions had a compounding effect. It shifted my entire way of being, and I hope this video helps you guys do the same. Now, in order to take massive action on this principle and implement compounding interest into your daily life, I would suggest doing 3 things. Number 1, audit your habits in your current day from the second you wake up to the second you go to sleep. Write it all down in a journal and figure out what needs to stay and what needs to go. You don't have to do this every single day, but at least do it for the first week so you have an exact idea of what your current day looks like. Number 2, create a new perfect day. So we only live one day at a time. You need to plan the exact routines, morning and night, the habits and the emotions that you want to experience for one single day. To help out, I've left my current routines linked in the description below so you guys can get some ideas. Number 3, lastly, and this is the most important one, take 1 hour per day minimum of blocked off time where not a single soul can bother you and do proactive work on anything that you want to achieve in life. So reactive work is things that you have to do. It's routine behavior, it's upkeep, it's working out, it's eating, it's homework, it's schoolwork, it's jobs. But take 1 hour minimum and create something completely new each day. And it has to be proactive, and you have to make tangible progress towards something. If you can do this every single day, you will see massive benefits for your life. Be the cause, not the effect. Be the producer, not the consumer. Control the inputs instead of trying to control the outputs. And be the master that you truly are over yourself, using the laws and principles instead of allowing them to use you. Do this every single day, and you guys will be shocked at how lucky you truly are. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, please leave a like. It really helps me out, helps the channel grow. And also comment below how you guys are gonna use compounding interest in your own life. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.